We're now going to turn our attention to the broader systems that shape the lives of older adults, beginning with economic policy and financial stability. Throughout this course, we have examined biological, psychological, social, and cultural influences on aging. In this lecture, we shift to economic structures because financial security is one of the strongest determinants of health, independence, and overall quality of life in later life. Financial stability affects access to healthcare, housing quality and stability, nutrition, ability to age in place, social participation, and mental health. Thus, understanding economic policy is crucial for any professional working with older adults. Such understanding can lead to more successful program development and age-friendly service design.
You can pass it. I'll spend it anyway. Only do it. You can.
Financial security in later life refers to the ability to meet basic needs, maintain independence, manage healthcare costs, absorb unexpected expenses, and plan for long-term care needs. We often associate financial security with wealth accumulation, but it's also about predictable, stable income and manageable risk. In their chapter, Retirement and Financial Security, Two Economists Think Out Loud, authors Marchand and Smeating emphasize that retirement income in the U.S. rests on what is often described as a three-legged stool: Social Security, employer-sponsored pensions, and personal savings and investments. Over time, the balance among these legs has shifted, often increasing risk for individuals.
You can pass it.
Let's begin our exploration of the three-legged stool with a discussion on Social Security, the cornerstone of retirement income in the U.S. Social Security was created in 1935 during the Great Depression to provide a stable income floor for older adults in retirement. Today, it operates as a social insurance program funded through payroll taxes under the Old Age Survivors and Disability Insurance System, often referred to as OASDI. Here's how it works in a nutshell. Workers earn credits based on lifetime earnings. Benefits are calculated using a progressive formula, meaning lower income workers receive a higher replacement rate relative to earnings. Individuals can begin claiming retirement benefits as early as age 62, though benefits are permanently reduced if claimed before full retirement age. Full retirement age has gradually increased and is now between 66 and 67, depending on a person's birth year. Delaying benefits up to age 70 increases monthly payments. Social Security also provides survivors' benefits, disability insurance, and annual cost of living adjustments, or COLAs, to help offset inflation. Whew, that's a lot of technical information, and we only scratched the surface. Despite its complexity, Social Security is remarkably effective at reducing poverty among older adults. Without it, elder poverty rates would be dramatically higher. For many older Americans, particularly those with lower lifetime earnings, Social Security represents the majority of retirement income. It provides predictable lifetime income, protection against longevity risk, inflation-adjusted benefits, and spousal unsurvivor protections. In this way, Marchand and Smeating emphasize that Social Security is one of the most successful anti-poverty programs in U.S. history. However, Social Security is not designed to fully replace pre-retirement income. On average, it replaces roughly 40% of pre-retirement earnings for middle-income workers, less for higher earners. This means additional savings or pensions are required to maintain living standards. Additionally, demographic shifts, including longer life expectancy and lower birth rates, have increased pressure on the program's trust fund. Current projections suggest that without legislative changes, trust fund reserves could face shortfalls in the early 2030s, potentially resulting in automatic benefit reductions. Policy debates on increasing the solvency of Social Security often center on increasing payroll taxes, adjusting benefits, raising retirement age, and modifying cost of living formulas. For healthcare administrators and policymakers, these debates matter because Social Security stability directly affects demand for public assistance, housing support, and health services.
You can pass it.
The second leg of the retirement stool is employer-sponsored pensions. Historically, many workers had defined benefit plans, which guaranteed a lifetime payout based on years of service and salary. These plans shifted risk from individuals to employers. However, over recent decades, defined benefit plans have declined in the private sector. They have largely been replaced by defined contribution plans, such as 401ks. In defined contribution systems, workers contribute a portion of income, employers may match contributions, and investment risk is borne by the individual. While defined contribution plans offer portability and flexibility, they expose individuals to market volatility and require financial literacy. Not all workers have access to employer sponsored plans. This creates disparities in retirement readiness.
You can pass it.
The third component of retirement income involves personal savings and investments. This includes IRAs, some 401ks, brokerage accounts, and real estate assets. However, data consistently show that many households approach retirement with inadequate savings. Lower income workers, gig workers, and those with interrupted employment histories are particularly vulnerable. Health shocks, unemployment, caregiving responsibilities, and economic recessions can all reduce lifetime savings capacity. Marchand and Smeating highlight that retirement security is deeply stratified by socioeconomic status.
You can pass it.
While we think of retirement as a personal decision motivated by preference, it's actually shaped by much more, including Social Security claiming rules, employer policies, health status, labor market discrimination, and availability of age friendly workplaces. Some older adults delay retirement to increase Social Security benefits or supplement savings. Others retire earlier than planned due to health problems or caregiving responsibilities. Age discrimination can limit employment opportunities for older workers, reducing earning potential and retirement security. These labor market realities interact directly with economic policy.
You can pass it.
Financial stability and health are inseparable. Economic insecurity is associated with higher stress, delayed healthcare, medication non adherence, and increased mental health burden. Healthcare costs, including long term care expenses, represent one of the largest financial risks in retirement. Many individuals underestimate long term care costs because Medicare, which we'll cover in more detail in the next lecture, does not fully cover long term custodial care. Financial vulnerability can escalate quickly when care needs increase. Understanding this intersection is critical for program design.
You can pass it.
The life course perspective applies strongly to economic security. Lifetime earnings reflect education access, occupational opportunity, wage gaps, discrimination, and caregiving interruptions. Those who are disadvantaged across these factors are thus less likely to be financially secure in retirement. As an example, women often face lower retirement savings due to wage gaps and caregiving roles. Also, racial disparities in wealth accumulation persist into later life. Economic insecurity in older adulthood often reflects decades of structural inequality. Thus, retirement security is not only a financial issue, it's an equity and a justice issue.
You can pass it.
Let's step back, review, and evaluate what we've covered as it relates to the current financial system in the US. First, strengths. Social Security provides a stable income floor. Public programs reduce elder poverty, and employer plans allow for wealth accumulation. Next, limitations. Heavy reliance on individual savings increases inequality. Pension decline shifts risk to individuals. Social Security solvency concerns create uncertainty. And healthcare and long-term care costs strain fixed incomes. Thus, policy reforms must balance sustainability, adequacy, equity, and political feasibility.
You can pass it.
For professionals designing programs and services for older adults, economic policy shapes everything. If Social Security benefits are modest, demand for supplemental income assistance, housing subsidies, food support programs, and community-based services will increase. Understanding the economic landscape allows administrators to anticipate service needs. Programs that integrate financial counseling, benefits enrollment assistance, and caregiver support can directly enhance quality of life. Economic literacy is part of gerontological competence.
You can have it. Pass it.
To summarize, financial security in later life rests on public policy, employer systems, and personal savings. Social Security remains the backbone of retirement income, but it is not sufficient alone for many older adults. Pension trends and savings disparities shape retirement outcomes. Economic policy is not abstract, it directly influences health, independence, and dignity in aging. As you reflect on today's lecture, consider: how do economic policies such as Social Security design and pension structures shape not just retirement income, but health outcomes and access to care in later life? This concludes the first lecture for Module 7. If you have any questions about the material covered in this lecture, please contact your instructor for this course. Thanks for watching.
You can have it. Pass it.